2026 to be at the home of Frater Earl Davis. We also have with us Frater Riley Searcy. And why are we here, family and friends? We are here to interview these two fraternity brothers regarding the bombing at the church in Birmingham, Alabama, where four little girls were tragically killed. We're also here to explore their interests, their ideas, and their lives' experiences during those turbulent times. It is my honor and my sisterly heart to introduce none other than Sora Gloria Barnes, who will conduct today's interview at the home of Frater Earl Davis.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to have this opportunity. And Frater Earl Davis, we're going to begin with you. And I would like to ask, before we begin, if you would please share your name, age, occupation, and date of birth.
My name is Earl Davis. I was born January 18th, 1940. And what else?
And your occupation or your retirement.
I'm retired intergroup relations specialist for Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
Okay, very good. Tell me something about your earliest memories while growing up. And what specific experience or experiences can you recall as a youth that you feel have shaped your life today?
I grew up in a small town my first formative years. And my grandmother and my mother were my idols. Mm-hmm. And they influenced in most of the things that I was able to accomplish. They gave me the go ahead. They made me know that I could do it.
They made you know you could do it, and you did, exactly. Okay, why did you, well, I'm going to begin with what we have here, that Earl Davis, a graduate of Dillard University, and a survivor of the Civil Rights Movement, and the assistant minister of music for the 16th Street Baptist Church during the time of the bombing. The bombing that killed four little girls invites you to join him as he shares his story. This is a story of the Sunday morning on September 15, 1963, of a single explosion that rocked a community and awakened a sleeping nature. So why did you decide to attend Dillard University?
Well, in high school, I was born in Frankfort, Louisiana, and I moved to New Orleans in my ninth, when I became my 10th grade year, entered my 10th grade year, and I went to Booker T. Washington High School. And two of my best friends, or my two best friends, they had enrolled in Dillard once we graduated. I had no intention of going to college. Finishing high school was a milestone in my family.
Exactly.
You know, and but they entered Dillard, and my brother one of my brothers had just gotten out of the military, and he was the only brother before me to graduate from high school. So he asked me what was I going to do. I told him I was going to go in the military just like he did. Mm-hmm. He said, "No, you're not. If you don't get your butt in somebody's college, you got to answer to me." So I believed him, and so I went out to Dillard, and that's how I ended up.
Okay, very good. So you're from Louisiana. How did you end up in Birmingham, Alabama?
In my senior year at Dillard University, we had to do applications for practice purposes, basically. So our department had all of us to fill out applications that won all of the graduating seniors to various parts of the country. We had to do at least about 5. And one of my applications I sent to Birmingham. I had no intention of going to Birmingham. I knew nothing about Birmingham except the little I knew about college tour, we used to stop in Birmingham to choir. Uh, I received a reply from my application, and so at that time I was making preparation to go to the March on Washington, and so I had to stop all those plans to go for the interview. And once I did the interview, uh, I was accepted for the position, and so I came back from the interview and made preparation to move to Birmingham. And so that's how I ended up there. And rather than going to the Million Man March, I went to work.
You went to work, yes. So what kind of church was the 16th Street Baptist Church?
The 16th Street Baptist Church was a traditional church. It took a long time before they started opening doors for to what was going on through the civil rights movement and all that. In the early 60s, they opened the doors for the students to come in and use it as a training area for nonviolence sit-ins and demonstrations. And so that's why the 16th Street Baptist Church was conveniently located right down, almost downtown, in walking distance. And there's a big park right across from the church where they used to assemble and then they would march. So that's how the 16th Street Church was chosen.
That was one of the best locations for
Yeah,
sure.
very
Yeah,
located.
yeah. So what involvement did the KKK, I have a hard time even saying KKK, have in the bombing of the church?
They had a lot to do with it. I mean, everything to do with it. The Sunday that they were supposed to have bombed the church, they didn't. They were going to. I don't know what happened, why it was canceled, but that particular Sunday there was a renowned pianist that was doing a concert at the church, and I guess the Ku Klux Klans knew that a lot of the who's who in the black community was going to be at that particular concert, so that was perfect for them to get all of us together. And so something happened that they didn't do it that particular Sunday. They did it the following Sunday, and then that's when the youth was supposed to take over the church, and that's that happened.
So on that Sunday morning, September 15th, 1963, 18 days after the March on Washington, I Have a Dream speech was on that dreadful morning. So I understand that after you graduated from Dillard University, you accepted a job in Birmingham, Alabama, in which you became a member of the 16th Street Baptist Church. I also understand that you were in the church when it was bombed. Would you share this devastating experience with us?
Yes, that particular Sunday. Every Sunday I was assistant minister of music for the church, and every Sunday morning around 10 o'clock, I lived right in the back of the church, so we were walking distance. And I lived with my principal, who was a city, and his wife was an AKA. His wife was a Zeta, and she was a principal also. So I lived with them, and that particular every Sunday I would go down in the basement and get the choir rolls ready and the music folks were ready for the choir to sing during the 11 o'clock service. This particular Sunday, my principal asked me if I would come and sing the opening song solo for Sunday school. We're doing the devotion for the Sunday school. So he was my boss. So I couldn't say no.
Exactly.
So I accepted. So I went and I sang the opening song for the Sunday school that particular Sunday. Instead of me going down in the basement like I would normally do, I was at the church about 30 minutes earlier. So I decided to go to Sunday school while I was there. So I went up on the 3rd floor to Sunday school, and because I went to Sunday school that Sunday, it saved my life. Had I gone down in the basement like I would normally do, I sat on the couch with a planted. Every Sunday, I would go down and place the music folders on the couch and get them ready. So the fireman would come down and collect that folder and go up and get ready to go up to the 11th service. I didn't do that particular Sunday. I went to Sunday school, and then that's when the bomb went off. I was sitting at the Sunday school I went to was all male, and the women, I mean not the women, the men were used to military experience. I didn't have any military experience, so when the bomb went off, the explosion, they were trained to hit the ground. A bomb. I didn't have those instincts because I didn't go to the military.
I understand.
Okay, and so instead of me hitting the floor like they did, I jumped up out of my seat and grabbed the wall. I don't know why I did it. I just did out of instinct. I was seated under a great big chandelier, and the minute I jumped out of my seat, a moment after I went out of my seat, that chandelier crushed my seat. Had I not jumped up and grabbed the wall, that chandelier would have crushed me to death.
Exactly.
So I would have been dead. After that, we managed to find our way downstairs, and by the time we got downstairs, the crowd had got so thick. I don't know how so many people got there so fast, but they did. Even the police, the white police. I was talking to a young man. The crowd was bumper to bumper, so thick. But I was talking to a young man. We were like this face to face, and all of a sudden a bullet went straight through and took part of his earlobe off.
And you right there.
I'm right there, and that was the police supposedly dispersing the crowd. They shot right through it, and I saw the blood running down his, and I just started running. I jumped the fence and went to my house through the back, and I called my mother in Louisiana to let her know that I was okay. I knew it was going to be national news on television, so I wanted her to know that I was okay. And as I got off the phone from my mother, the doorbell rang, and I went to the front door and opened the door. There was a mother that I knew her because she was a friend of my principal's wife, and she would come to visit her quite often because they worked together at the same school. She was a librarian, I think, and so she asked me had I seen her daughter. And I said, no. She said, I dropped off for Sunday school, but I went back home because she was preparing something for her after Sunday. So I don't know if it was a party or something, a birthday, or I don't know what it was. But she asked me if I would go in the crowd and help if I tried to find her. She told me what she was wearing. And by the time I told her, okay, and I went back and jumped the fence and went back to the basement of the church entrance. And by the time I got there, as the search crew, bomb crew was coming from the basement, one of the searchers bumped up against the couch was plastered against the wall where the bomb was. The bomb was under the couch. And the bomb had plastered the couch against the wall, and the rescuer accidentally bumped against the couch as he was coming out. And the girl fell, and I remember what she told my daughter had on, and that's the only thing I could recognize was the clothes.
What was the clothes?
The clothes. So I had the task of running back, facing that mother.
I can imagine.
And by the time I got there, she had disappeared. I was so glad I didn't have to tell her that she had left. I guess somebody must have taken her. And after that, the rest of that day was blurred to me. I was just totally out of it for the rest of that day.
I can imagine. That was just words can't express what all happened after that. And I just going to go ahead and ask you, were you able to attend the funeral?
No,
Okay.
I didn't attend the funeral because it was too emotional for me. I was supposed to sing.
I can
I was
imagine.
supposed to sing at the funeral. One of the girls, Martin Luther King, had come down to help the family arrange the funerals because he was going to do the eulogy, and he wanted all of them together, and the three of the families agreed to it. Carol, I think it was Carol. Carol's mother their family had already arranged for the funeral for her funeral, and they didn't want to change it, so they went ahead with their funeral. And then the other three girls were laid out together in Martin Luther King. I didn't go to Carol's funeral. I didn't go to the three girls because I went back. I wanted to go to work that day.
I see.
So I wanted to be with my
Something
kids.
normal.
I wanted to be with my kids. They needed me, and I needed them.
I understand that.
So
Yes.
emotionally, I just needed them. I couldn't bear to go to the funeral.
Yes. So then, what happened after that? Where it says on November 22nd, 1963, at the same year, President Kennedy was assassinated. After his death, had very little hope that was left. How were you able to continue to work under those situations?
It was very, very difficult to work under those kind of, because President Kennedy, during that time in November, that's when he was
Assassinated.
President Kennedy had the National Guards that Wallace had they were Wallace's National Guardsmen, but President Kennedy came and nationalized the National Guards, federalized them,
which was good.
and he took over. And so every night I didn't know this until later that Wallace the Ku Klux Klan had promised to kill all of us if we talked to the investigators, or those of us who was in the church. And so Kennedy had the National Guards to protect us every night. Every night I would see a car parked out in front of the house. They were dressed in plain clothes, but they would stay there all night and leave 4 days that morning
to make sure
that we were okay. And then when he was killed that November, it looked like all hope had died because he was like I was on a hope to be safe there.
So how it was a lot that was going on, and you must have been happy to get away from all of that violence.
Yes, I was happy to get away. My wife and I, we motored out to Los Angeles, getting away from it all. And then after we got out of Los Angeles, we ran into the biggest riot that out there. And so then after we came back from Los Angeles, well, actually, I got married. I left that part. I got married, and then we motored out to California, and we did some things to try to get my mind off of it. And I just emotionally, I just kind of buried it. I buried it, and I left. We didn't stay out in Los Angeles for about a week, and we came back, and then after that we came to we decided to move to Miami here. I did finish that